How often do you think about your personal safety on deck? All the time? Once a day? Once a month? What are you doing to protect yourself and your fellow crew members? This is the story of 4 men. They thought they would never have an accident on deck, but they did. The question for you to decide is this: how did it happen? Roberto Ramirez was 25. He was a fitter with a wife and 3 children. He was experienced and professional, but it took just one mistake to leave him with severe fractures in each leg. How could it have happened? For example, did it happen like this, running on a wet deck, wearing the wrong footwear? Did it happen like this? Did Roberto or a shipmate leave a heavy object on the deck without securing it? And did it suddenly roll? Or is this what happened? Was Roberto standing too close to a mooring line when it parted without warning? Or maybe he was standing in the bight of the rope as weight came onto the line. So which was it? You decide. It wasn't the fall. In this case, he might easily have dislocated his hip, which would still mean spending several weeks in plaster. It could have been the loose object. When a heavy weight hits a human leg, there is always a chance of a break or a fracture. But this is not what happened either. This is what happened. Weight came on the mooring line. Roberto was standing in the bight of the rope, which tightened, causing severe fracturing to his legs. He was just unlucky, wasn't he? But that's not what Roberto's wife thinks, or his shipmates. Why?
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Because they all know that if he'd been standing in a safe place, the accident would never have happened. Bruce McMillan was an electrician. He was about to get married for the 2nd time. But he had to postpone the wedding when he injured his legs and back. He was temporarily paralyzed. So what went wrong? Was it this? Did he lift a heavy object without bending his legs? If he did, he had only himself to blame, and could easily have twisted his knee as well. Anyone can learn to lift correctly using the legs to take the weight, not the back. And for heavy weights, you should get someone to help you. Or perhaps this is what happened. He was climbing a ladder with only one hand to steady himself. Another very basic mistake. This is the way to climb a ship's ladder. Always with 2 hands. Anything which cannot be carried on your back should be pulled up on a rope. Or was it this? He was working on the radar without a safety harness. Someone switched it on, and he fell to the deck. All it would have taken to prevent this accident was a simple sign. To be doubly sure, he could have taken out the fuse. And in any case, he should have been wearing a safety harness. Advanced planning and a bit of extra caution can prevent virtually all accidents. He should have been wearing a safety harness here too. So here is another possibility. So what did cause this accident? It wasn't lifting a heavy weight with his legs straight. By straining your back in this way, you can easily make one of the soft discs between your vertebrae slip out. This causes pain and discomfort, but it does not paralyze you. He probably didn't fall from the ladder. A fall of a few feet, in this case to the first stage, would not usually result in serious damage. But in a more severe fall, if you're unlucky, you may sustain severe injury to your back, resulting in hospitalization. And this is the reason why Bruce McMillan will have to spend a good many weeks receiving treatment. Sam Nagoma was single. He was also planning to get married to a girl from his hometown. But the wedding won't be happening now. When Sam's face was badly burned, his fiancée changed her mind. It might have been this. He was pouring out some acid to clean the pipes when the ship rolled and the acid spilt into his face. If he'd been wearing proper protective clothing, and if the acid had been properly contained, he would have been safe. Or perhaps this happened. He was smoking as he opened an inspection hatch over a cargo of coal, and his cigarette ignited a pocket of escaping methane gas, which was emitted from the cargo. But maybe it was an electrical accident. Perhaps he was working on a piece of high-voltage equipment. And perhaps he made the same mistake as Bruce McMillan did with the radar. Perhaps he turned the equipment off, but didn't leave a sign or remove the fuses. How long does it take to do this? 30 seconds? And did he have a proper permit to work? But which was the accident which burned Sam's face?
Can we just look this way, because we're going to take your bandages off.
A flash from an explosion attacks the top layers of skin. The wound is superficial but leaves permanent scarring. This would have happened with the smoking accident. And could have happened with the electrical accident too. Acids and chemicals can remove the skin completely and can burn down through the raw flesh beneath. If they reach the eyes, they can blind you. Fortunately for Sam, immediate first aid prevented this from happening. What actually happened to Sam was that he was burned from the methane explosion. He was lucky not to lose his eyesight, and all because of one cigarette. Pedro Sanchez had 4 children. They lived with Pedro's mother. His accident happened just a few days before he was due to arrive home. He suffered severe head injuries.
Easy. Okay. Take off this stuff.
Could his injuries have been caused like this, walking through a prohibited area while a cargo was being loaded? It's possible. Even if you're wearing a hard hat, a small object can cause serious injury when it falls from a great height. Perhaps he was in such a hurry to get ashore to get supplies that he ran down the gangway while his shipmates were still rigging it and tripped. Again, it's possible. Many accidents happen when people run when they should be walking. One momentary thoughtless act can have serious and long-lasting consequences. You should never run down a gangway, and no one should use it until the safety net and side rails are ready. No job is so urgent that it's worth risking your personal safety and your life.
Okay, station.
But perhaps it happened during a lifeboat drill. There's a lot of hard metal on board ship, and you have to watch out for it.
Okay. Station.
All it takes is a moment's thought and a hard hat. Or was it like this? Was Pedro working in an exposed area, again without a hard hat? And was he careless where he left his work tools? So which was it? Even a small carton dropped from a height could cause severe bruising and possibly concussion. It might also fracture the skull. A blow to the head from a flat object could also cause severe bruising and concussion. But a heavy object like a wrench falling from a great height would almost certainly cause serious injuries such as severe fracture. The human skull may be strong, but it's not indestructible. And that is what happened to Pedro.
Pedro, you hear me? Pedro? You hear me, Pedro?
And all it would have taken to avoid this accident was a hard hat, a safe place for his tools, and a clear head. None of these injuries was unavoidable. With proper care and attention, none should ever occur. Don't allow yourself or your fellow shipmates to become the victims of your own carelessness or oversight. Make safety your first priority.